Even though I have my own business, I don't like doing bookkeeping. I use some software to help me with that, but I haven't had any real training in anything like accounting. Actually, I don't understand that stuff too much. Don't or haven't? Let's discuss.
Welcome to another Happy English podcast coming to you from New York City. And here's your English teacher, Michael.
All right, thank you, John, and thanks, everyone. It's Michael here from Happy English, and I help people speak English better. And this is Happy English Podcast, episode 799. Is it don't or haven't? Did you notice what I did at the beginning of this episode? In some sentence, I used don't, and in others, I used haven't. A lot of English learners get stuck deciding whether to use don't or haven't, so I thought I would take some time today to look at these two helping verbs. Some teachers also call them auxiliary verbs. Let's dive in. First of all, don't is a contraction of do not, and doesn't is a contraction of does not. We use don't or doesn't followed by a base verb in the simple present tense. That means you can use don't or doesn't when you talk about general truths or facts, habits or routines, and states. Let's look at each of these. I don't like raisins. That's something which is always true. My sister doesn't speak Spanish. That's a fact about her. And here's one more. Water doesn't freeze at 10 degrees, right? That's a scientific fact. Like facts, states are unchanging situations. Like, I don't know your cousin from Paris. What's he like? Not knowing something or even knowing something is a state, not an action. We use don't or doesn't with a state. Jack lives in Brooklyn, so he doesn't own a car. He doesn't own a car. Possession is also a state. Okay, so we've covered general truths, facts, and states. Now, let's look at some examples of habits and routines. My buddy Ed joined the gym a few months ago, but he doesn't go very often. That's his habit, not going to the gym. By the way, it's a pretty common thing here for people to sign up for the gym, but then not go, even though they pay each month. In these situations, you may hear a conversation something like this. Hey, how often do you go to the gym? Oh, not often. Just my wallet goes to the gym. Yeah, my wallet goes to the gym. Crazy, right? All right, let's get back to the topic. I don't have classes on Sundays. That's my regular habit. So, that's don't and doesn't. We use those words to talk about general truths and facts, states, and regular habit. And speaking of habits, here's a regular habit you should have when it comes to improving your English. It's the All Ears English podcast. All Ears English. That's the place where my friends Lindsay, Michelle, and Aubrey focus on connection, not perfection, with real and natural English conversations. The All Ears English podcast has 4.7 million all-time listeners and 200 million all-time downloads. They have even been ranked number 1 in U.S. education language courses in Apple. And they've got 5 new episodes every week. In today's episode, they teach you how to use the native phrase while you're at it. And tomorrow, you'll learn the subtle difference about when to use but and when to use though. Sounds awesome, right? To get all of this and more, open your search bar right now on your podcast player and type All Ears English and hit follow. If you haven't checked out their podcast, now's your time. Let's move on to how we use haven't or hasn't. Haven't is a contraction of have not, and hasn't is a contraction of has not. We use haven't or hasn't in the present perfect tense in the following ways. Actions that started in the past and continue up to now. Unfinished actions, and life experiences or lack of life experiences. Let's look at each category. I haven't seen my coworker today. She left the office before I arrived and I still haven't seen her. This action of not seeing her started this morning and continues up to now. It's already 3 p.m. and Tommy hasn't eaten anything all day. This means from the start of the day until now, he hasn't eaten anything. We also use haven't when we talk about unfinished actions, like, I haven't finished my homework yet. I mean, I started it an hour ago, but it's not done. Katie started cleaning the house a few hours ago, but she hasn't cleaned the kitchen yet. That task is not complete. Another place we use haven't or hasn't is when we talk about life experiences. Well, actually, lack of experiences. Like, Jenny told me that she hasn't ever eaten sushi. I was surprised to hear that. And even though she's traveled all over Asia, her and her husband haven't visited Japan. To sum up, when you're talking about a habit, fact, or general truth, use don't or doesn't. When you're talking about an unfinished action or lack of experience, use haven't or hasn't. Keep in mind, the best way to remember English like this and any other word or phrase in English is to take that word or phrase, write it in a sentence that's true for you or true in your world, and then memorize your sentences. Did you know you can get more practice using your English when you join my Podcast Learners Study Group? There, you can make new friends, join us for live group lessons every week where we practice these podcast lessons together. Plus, you get access to the PDF transcript and audio download for every Happy English podcast in the past and in the future. And on top of that, each episode has exercises where you can practice this English point with speaking and writing checked by me. To learn more, just visit myhappyenglish.com and choose podcast lesson 799. Remember, learning another language is not easy, but it's not impossible, and I'm here to help you on your journey.
This podcast was brought to you by Happy English. Please visit myhappyenglish.com. Show your support for Happy English by leaving us a review. Get English, get happy, Happy English.